This is Joycey.
And Blake.
And welcome to Savagely Scaled. Today we're joined by the very special, wonderful, amazing Blake, who just traded the chalky pull-up bar for the bright lights of the platform in this past weekend. She survived the singlet. She mastered the silence of the crowd and didn't just get a total. She walked away with a top spot on the podium. So we're sitting down with our very own Blake, fresh off of her second ever weightlifting competition, where she secured the gold. So we're diving into her mindset shift from the first meet to the second, and just getting a better idea how she kept her engine in check and what it's like to chase perfection 1 kilo at a time. So Blake, welcome to the hot seat. Let's do it.
Yay.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right. First and foremost, I just wanted to take a second to talk about the evolution from meet number 1 to meet number 2, because this is your second, right?
It's my second, in person. So I had to do, my very first one was online, and it was just to qualify, which I find that more nerve-wracking than actually going to the meets.
I was going to say, that must be nice because you feel more comfortable in the space.
A lot of people feel more comfortable. And I was just, it was so much more nerve-wracking. And it could be because it was technically my first meet. So then I was like, oh my gosh, what happens? But online, you have to send in your
videos.
But you can do an endless amount of videos.
That's true.
So you're going to send them the ones that you hit. You just have a time frame. You do have to have a time frame in between. But it's I could have done that 12 times.
True.
Compared to when you go to these meets, you get 3 attempts at your snatch and 3 attempts at your clean and jerk.
And that's it.
Yeah. So to me, the one at home was more nerve-wracking.
But also, since I kind of went through the experience of submitting videos, it's hard having to record yourself and submit and do the whole thing and make sure the view is right and the clock is showing, and it's a lot of work. So
yeah, and I think a couple of us, there was 3 of us that went on one day, and I think 2 that went on a different day for that at-home one. And I was lucky enough to go on the first day to learn how to do it. And it was hard. It was is the clock showing? Is this showing? Is everything showing? So then the girls the next day knew exactly what to do. But it's nerve-wracking because you're does that not count? And then when you look over your videos, because there's things of soft elbows, you cannot show a press out or soft elbows. And it's was that a soft elbow? Because you can rewatch your video so many times that you start to mess with your brain of should I do it again? Was it not good enough? Is it that? So you trust the people around you, and you trust your coach to be no, that was a good one. We're submitting it. Compared to you have 3 judges watching you on a platform. And with these other 2, they've been where there's shining lights. You're up above people. Now, that's not for every meet. There's been meets in Vegas and Tucson, and they're like gym meets where you go to somebody's weightlifting gym or just a CrossFit gym and they host it.
Gotcha.
So you're at the same level as everybody platform wise, but you're still put into your weight groups and your age groups and going from there.
And you mentioned your first meet too, was it different in terms of how many people were around you? Because obviously the team has grown since.
Yeah. So when we went to Texas, we had Ginger, Heather, Rachel, Maggie, and myself. I believe that's all that were competing for Texas. And a couple of people went by themselves. So Rachel had a different time. Maggie had a different time. And Ginger had a different time. Heather and I were able to be on the same platform at the same time. So our warm-up was in the same area. For Utah, it was a little bit different. We had, I believe, 10 lifters.
It's double.
Right? For Texas, we had people competing on different days. for Utah, everybody was competing on Saturday except for me.
That's right.
And weight check-in was at 6 a.m. for some people. So Chris's day, which is my coach, his day started that early. And then our last lifter was at 4 that day.
Wow. Yeah, it's a whole day thing.
Yeah. And then you had people going at the same time. So we had Bear going at the same time as Heather, Lindsay, CJ, and Rochelle. So you had 5 people going.
Wow.
Luckily, 4 were on the same stage and 1 wasn't. And the stages were right next to each other.
Oh, nice.
And then Maggie and Andrew were at the same time. They had the same weight weigh in and then going at the same time as well.
So
their
cool.
platforms were right by each other, but where the stairs were, they were on opposite sides compared to the other ones where the stairs were right next to each other. So it's a little bit easier. But yeah, that one, I did get a cool video. That
both of them?
Yes.
I know I saw it. She showed me when she got there, and I was like, that's pretty cool.
I was like, oh my God, they're going to lift at the same time.
It's pretty adorable.
It is. And it just like warmed my heart when that happened. And then Rachel had her own time, and she was on a different platform as well. But she had a solo time.
Nice.
And then it was me on Sunday. So Texas was like less, but for a couple of us, it was our first big meet. So it felt more chaotic to me. This time, even though we had more people, I felt less chaotic because I knew what to expect, what to do. So it was a little bit less. I don't know if that was for everybody because it was Rochelle's first meet. It was CJ's first meet. It was Bear and Ella's first meet for the kids. So we had a lot of people. It was their first meet.
Wow.
I just enjoy it because of the lights and stuff and music and the crowd.
Yeah, it's the performer in you. The cheerleader in you.
I loved it. It was a little bit different setup because it was a convention center compared to
So was it bigger?
The room was bigger in a sense, but like the stadiums were brought in compared to when we went to in Texas. It was like a basketball stadium. So the stadium seat was there.
Right.
So I felt like it was more closed off, but still a big room. The convention center is just a big, huge room.
Oh, man.
And you also had powerlifting competing next to us. So it was a lot of yelling on that side too. Sometimes the mics weren't working. There wasn't a lot more music. Like Texas had music when I went on stage. This one didn't as much as other stages.
Yeah.
So it was like a lot more people that I thought was a bigger space, but you did also have 2 different types of competitions going on.
Wow.
Yeah. And it was also, so the other one was an AO2. This one was a Masters Nationals with a university competing and an open for our WSO. So you had like 3 different competitions within one.
Oh, that's huge.
Sort of. Yeah. There was just a lot going on.
Was it a bigger crowd, would you say, than Texas?
I don't know. You always get more crowds with like the well-known people. And since this was also like for the university kids,
right?
Like you had more of like school presence and teams. Like they were also on teams, so their teams would come out and yell for them.
Yeah.
Or like the ones like Instagram that a lot of people knew. Texas, you had Olivia and you had some other bigger names. So it always got crowded during that time. This one, it just didn't, like when I went on, and it's not sad, but when I went on, there was only like maybe 10 people in the stadium seating with the platform. It was also morning, but we're also like ladies who are we're either 35 all the way up to 39, and you see dads holding kids. My kids were there compared to like, oh my gosh, that's so and so, and they're lifting really heavy today. And so it's a different atmosphere.
I didn't ask you. Was Olivia there? Were they there too?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. They I know that they train in Colorado Springs and stuff like that. But yeah, that wasn't the one that they went to. They went to the Rogue one.
Tell me a little bit more about how it felt walking into this versus like your first meet, because you mentioned you felt more experienced. You definitely felt like you knew what you were getting into. Did you feel like Like, were the jitters still there? Like, what were the feelings and thoughts going through your head this time?
So, like, the jitters were still there. It's like, because you have to also keep in mind, like, we have a weight that we have to hit. If you go over that weight, you don't compete.
Oh, you're just automatically cut.
Oh, you're automatically. Or you bump, well, technically, they'll bump you up to the heavier weight.
Oh, man.
And you don't want to, like, I'm in 69. I think the one above me is 77.
Cool.
So, like, I don't want to lift with those chicks because they're going to be lifting really heavy.
More.
And it's just not what you want to do. So you're always like in the back of of your mind, like, okay, I need to bring my food. I need to bring my snacks. I need to do that. Especially like for me, I think that was kind of jittery because I didn't live till Sunday and I got there Thursday.
Right.
You know, and I brought my family, and my family's not on a meal prep plan.
No.
And nor do I want them on. Like, they should be enjoying stuff. And we went to the zoo and they got ice cream and stuff like that. And I was just like, okay, I just get to eat my
so
food.
Strong.
Yeah. And then, like, watching Maggie's kids and stuff, I ran with them, did steps. But, like, jittery, I went up and down. It's like a roller coaster because when I go to compete, like I used to do this when I was in cheerleading or anything like that. Mm-hmm. And I would walk into the stadium and you just get so excited because you see the lights, you see the stages, and you're just like, wow, this is real. Be on that, and it's real. Mm-hmm. And then you have a practice area. We got to do like a group practice area. Chris put it on. He was like, I'm going to be there 10 to 12. We all got there at the same time, which was really awesome. And we all practiced together and lifted together. And we
made
took
a super
turns.
Cool video.
Yeah, it was really cool because we took turns and we, encouraged each other. It was just nice to have that kind of helped. Mm-hmm. And then Saturday I got to watch everybody. So I went early and I told my mom and my uncle, I was like, you have the kids all day Saturday because I want to go support my team. Mm-hmm. And I'll probably be gone most of the day. Plus you don't want to have to pay for parking twice if you're leaving because parking is in places. Mm-hmm. So I was really excited for everything. Everybody's doing really, really, really good. Everybody did amazing. And then in the back of my mind, I started getting nervous because I was like, what if I'm the one who doesn't do amazing? Mm. What if I'm the one who, doesn't hit anything and I zero out? Like, what if I'm that one? And then you have to be like, you're not that important, Blake. You're going to do your thing. You're not that important that it matters that much that you're not going to total. You're going to total something. You're going to be fine. Mm. So it was kind of like that where I was like, okay. And then I'm just going to be back there with Maggie and Chris, where my first one I was with Maggie, Chris, Heather, and Rachel. Mm-hmm. And it was me and Heather lifting. And sometimes I like being a part of like a group.
Right.
It was like nerve-wracking for that. To be like,
because it was just
be on my own.
Yeah.
What's going to happen? But I felt like Chris, with how because he brought so many more athletes, he was on it in Texas, but he was even on it more like leading up to it. And even there, he's like, okay, here's the plan. Do you have anything else to add to the plan? Or he's always like, he wanted to make sure that, being a part of like, okay, what do you want out of this? And he's going to try to make it happen to the best of his ability. Right. And you go into that whole, like, I also trust you. I trust him and Maggie backstage. I trust, like, if they're like, hey, do that, go lift that. I trust that they have the weight that I need to lift.
Right.
And that's what I kind of have to have. Like, they have to trust me that I'm going to do everything, that programming that he wrote for this day, and I trust him to have my best interest in what he put on there, with guidance of like, okay, I wanted to make sure I hit openers, and then if I hit my openers, then I'll just go balls to the wall. Like, I'll try my best on anything. And that was like my goal. I just want to hit openers to make sure I have a total.
Right.
There were jitters, like when I was warming up, like my hands were shaking, and Chris was like, slow down. And I'm just like, yeah. And then like, it just like, once he just told me, he had to tell me a couple times to slow down, you guys. Like, my brain was like, okay, I'm going to slow down. And then I didn't, because I was just like, I'm just so nervous. And then Maggie's like, it's fine. You can do this. So I like having both of them. because I train with Maggie. So she just understands how to calm me down in a sense when I'm nervous. And then I trust Chris because he's done all my programming.
Right.
You know, and when I've been in to do one-on-ones with him, or even when we have gym and there's all of us, the pointers that he gives. So it was nice having both of them and being like, okay, I do have this. I trust both of them. And then I slowed down and I started doing better. I also had tons of snacks. Okay. Like as soon as I weighed in, I ate my big ass sandwich that my mom makes that I absolutely love.
Good. What's the sandwich?
So we call them river sandwiches, and it's French bread. You know those big, huge loaves of French bread? Yeah.
Kind?
And she cuts it because we make several. And then we have mayonnaise, mustard, and Italian dressing.
Ooh, okay.
Lettuce, pickles, pepperoncinis, and
what kind of meat?
Turkey breast or chicken breast, because she knows I just love those. I also like roast beef, but roast beef is a little bit heavy. And then we do the lettuce and then American white cheddar.
Oh, next time tell Terry Jo to make me a sandwich.
They're so good. Like
next time on the boat trip, we're making those.
Right?
Sounds so amazing.
They're so good. So I had that. I also had grapes and strawberries, which FYI, my mom's so cute. So she packed my snacks for when I went there.
Yeah.
And I was like, you have to weigh those things out for me.
Right.
So when it was my time to pack my lunch to go lift, she goes, I weighed them out. And I go, no, I can have as many as I want after I weigh in.
Right.
And she's like, oh. Like, it was just fun. She had so many questions. But I had those. I had my candies. And then Maggie brought me a cinnamon roll.
Oh. That's
so
awesome.
I was like, okay, I had my sandwich,
hilarious.
I had my fruit. I liked
Fueled
it.
by sugar.
Yeah, and then my candy is what I have during lifts also, and then I had my snatch after because I was like, okay, if I have my cinnamon roll, it's gonna be really heavy. And Maggie's like, yeah, don't do that. Do it after snatches.
True.
So yeah, it was. The backstage also kind of gives you some. It can give you some nerves, or it can kind of fire you up. Like, I just paid attention to me. I had to share it with a couple girls who were in my division. Yeah. But I paid attention to me, and they were all doing different weights. And the girls that I sat with were very nice, and we all said great job and things like that.
It was awesome.
It was. I like that kind of camaraderie, and then I can also focus on myself.
Right.
And sometimes some people walk by, I want them to also be like, that girl can lift kind of nice. That's pretty good. Right?
Facts.
Just showing off. I don't know if I answered it, but yeah.
You did. You did. So kind of going off of what you mentioned, like usually like going into your first meet, the goal is usually, like you said, just to get a total, right? This time you're walking into like your second competition, having come from already winning a medal in your first comp.
Yeah.
So how does that shift like happen in the second meet? Like, were you also just trying to get a total, or was it more like I'm here to win?
So I am women's masters 35 in the weight class of 69, and we had masters nationals. In masters nationals, we had Mountain South, which is like WSO, and you can compete within that. So there was actually 2 medals that could be happening, like Masters Nationals, and then there was the Mountain South.
Gotcha.
Lucky for me, even though I got gold fair and square, but lucky for me, there was only 2 other girls who were competing in Mountain South.
Gotcha.
So
okay.
My goal was, when Chris told me that there was only 2 others, goal was to get first or second, because you never know with people's totals. My total was 136. At the gym currently, I'm 146 for my total. So somebody could be like, yeah, my total's 120, and then they've done amazing and they blow you out the water, or I have a really bad day.
Right.
So yeah, there were goals of like, okay, then I know I'm going to get a medal.
Right. But you don't just want to
want, bronze. If I get bronze, I'm going to be happy, but I would like to get silver or gold. My biggest thing was I'm also a record holder in that. My last one, I got the record for snatch was 61, clean and jerk was 75, and my total was 136. So to me, I wanted to break those.
Right.
And because if I'm doing that, then I want to break that. I either want to get a medal, or I want to break something, or I want both.
That explains why every time you went on a lift, it says, it said like the purple banner. Yeah. Like this might be a record like lift. And I was just like, wait, so every lift she's doing is a record? And that's the part that I was kind of confused about. I didn't know there was a difference between, there's the nationals and then there's the Mountain South.
So there was yeah, because when we went in Texas, there was like also the Oklahoma, Texas one going on.
Oh.
And so like you would see those records too. And I was like, ooh, what's that? Like,
so how many girls were you competing on the nationals then versus the Mountain
nationals,
South?
I believe there was like 26 or 25.
Oh my gosh, that's a lot.
There was a lot. And
in your age division.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
so
wow.
I'm going to look at the ranking that I did because I don't know. I forgot how many. I was in B session and then there was A session. And I don't know. I know that I placed in the middle of the pack for that, which is actually for me.
For national, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I feel very happy with that because I've only been doing it for like a year and a half.
And nationals is all U.S., right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
it's
pretty
USA
big.
weightlifting masters nationals, and you have to, total and qualify for
Right.
it. So Rachel did also in her weight class and masters also. She qualified for it as well. But it's nice to be like, I did qualify for that because I hit these totals.
Right.
So
Wow, it's so complex. It's more complex than I thought.
It is. And a lot of people don't understand that because when we were there and I was watching it, like CJ's family was there and Ashley Bear's mom was there, and they had like questions and they're like, wait a minute, how come that girl got 2 minutes and this girl only got 30 seconds or something like that? And I'm like, because people backstage will steal your time. And it was very competitive. Like Maggie's group and Andrew's group, and they were saying like my group was very competitive with numbers because if you just see on there like our opening totals, if 6 of us want to hit 63, somebody's in there going, well, she hit 63 backstage, so let's do 65.
Right,
so when it comes to my turn, my coach is going to put 65, so that makes the next girl have to do it. Or if somebody misses 63 and then I move to 65, she has to take 63 or go up, and then like her time frame is different. I still don't understand the stealing time. I just know it's not fair sometimes because then you're like, well, my 2 minutes or my 90 seconds just went down to 30 seconds and now I have to go out there. Or if I don't want to hit that, I have to go up because the barbell's always going up. It's never going to go back down. You cannot be like, never mind, I choose to do 60. Can we go back? It doesn't happen that way.
Oh man.
So yeah, it's a lot of mind things, and that's why I say you have to trust your coach.
Like chess. Yeah.
Yeah, you really have to trust your coach and what they're doing. To me, like not questioning, like if they're telling you to warm up and lift, or if they're telling you to rest, or they're telling you to eat something, or if they're just like, hey, relax. And they're like, I like when my legs are being slapped. Maggie slaps my arms, Chris does stuff. Like they're there to help you succeed. Don't fight it.
Right.
In a sense. Yeah, it's a lot. Like even my mom,
and for
like
10 people, geez Louise.
When my mom was there, like I showed her where I was. I got like my badge and everything, and she's so cute. We went to go do check and weight because they have a weight, and I brought a scale, so I wanted to see what the difference was. And she's like, so you get to weigh today and you're lifting on Sunday, so you can eat whatever now? And I was like, no, Mom, this is just your check weight. Like, I still have to come back Sunday morning and weigh.
So it's like confirming the first way around kind of thing.
And they just have a weight out there because you have to go back into rooms and get weighed by an official. They ask you what your openers are going to be. You have to sign it. And then you get like, we got stickers this time for your coach, and if you want another person backstage with you. So
very organized.
It is, and it's very like, it could be very intimidating.
Yeah.
So this time it wasn't. It was just very nice.
Oh man. Yeah, it sounds like chess, man. It's like moving little pieces in the chessboard.
Like chess, and that's like when you look up on the screen, you can see that.
Yeah.
Because all of a sudden they'll be like, my mom kept saying, she's like, you would just come on, and CJ's mom was saying the same thing. She'd be like, she's up there, but then all of a sudden she's
the name
not.
changes, and
it's because your openers technically. I shouldn't say technically. Chris knows more about this, but like your openers, they could be what you open at, but it's also like a buffer. So when I went out, like I told them my openers were going to be 58 and 75. I could have gone up there, but backstage, if you're moving very well, you also want to kind of get a buffer because people are going to see your openers.
That's true.
And be like, oh, if she's doing 58, I want to do 60.
It's true, yeah.
You know,
that's what I kept thinking. I was like, oh my God, Blake has to go up a little bit more if she wants to beat that.
Yeah.
That's why it makes fun, though.
And my mom was like, you just kept not going. I was like, Mom, I didn't pay attention. Maggie and Chris were like, don't worry about it. Don't listen. I was like, I'm not going to listen then. You guys just tell me when I go.
Yeah.
You tell me what to lift here. Tell me when to go.
Yeah.
That's just, I love to practice. And then you guys just tell me when I go.
That is pretty nice. Yeah.
Yeah. It's, I don't need to question you because I'm not a coach. I don't know all these rules. I don't know I know how to warm myself up at the gym.
Yeah.
But when you're on like a time thing, I will say like the benefit that I had was I was towards the back of the group. So my warm up was not like, I didn't have to warm up really quick like the other girls did backstage. I got to wait a little bit, eat, stretch, because I was just towards the back end.
Right.
And that was the thing that I was like, okay, well, I'll either be in session B or session A. If I'm in session B, I'm going to be in the back of the group. If I'm in session A, I'm going to be in the front. And in the front, sometimes those go quicker because you're like, okay, all these people in the back are waiting. So
Let's go.
You might be lifting back to back, but it's also nice to have a person because then you have to wait their 2 minutes for them to lift.
Yeah.
And then I get to lift. Now there was like a little bit of like athletes who got out of place. So we got a bigger rest because all of a sudden I heard the announcer, oh, hang on guys, there's athletes that are out of place. So we have to figure that out. So you just see like a big ass group of coaches at the table figuring out what athlete was out of line in this thing, which they did think the coaches. And another thing, like, I didn't have to worry about that.
Yeah. I wouldn't even know what to do.
Yeah. So Chris was up there helping, and then Maggie was just like, okay, because he would give her pointers.
Yeah.
He'd be like, okay, after this, I want her to do that. And she'd come tell me because she's learning too. And that was the other thing. I was like, of course, I want you back there because you're my training partner. But two, like, this is a great opportunity for you to learn.
True.
And it's not as hectic. Like, love that those girls, like, her, you know, we had the 4 lifters and then the 1 kid bear, but that's a lot to learn from, like 4, and you're just so
and
like
different age groups and just different. Yeah.
So it was really fun. I really enjoyed being backstage. There was a lot of points where I just got into my groove and I was just smiling at the barbell, and I was like, this is really fun.
That's
really,
awesome.
really like this. It's really, really fun.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Never would I have thought that in weightlifting.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know, man. But we'll see, man. I'm not much of a lifter like that, but tell me a little bit more about technique-wise, and how that changed from your first competition to this one. Like, did you see it improve? Did you see it be the same? Was there something that you were like, I was really focusing on snatches this time around? Like, did you...
I feel like in programming, like in my programming, I felt more like I was getting more comfortable with snatches.
More prepared.
Yeah. And I felt a little bit better. I still have so much more to improve on. And I think that's the whole thing with weightlifting, right? You are always constantly improving. You fix one thing, you need to fix the next thing. And there's a couple things like I don't move my feet as much. My shoulders sometimes got out of whack. I did injure my wrist where one of my carpal bones popped out. So I saw Carol for that to get it fixed, and just really honed in on like, okay, my body and not wanting to injure it. So then I need to move properly.
Right.
So technique wise, like programming wise, I felt more comfortable in my snatches than my jerk. And again, my jerk is just like technique with my feet and my hips and exploding more.
Right.
So it's still a lot, and I feel like it was just like 2 different competitions, but I still have the same things that I need to work on.
But you went up in weight too, right? You said?
I did, yeah. So like this last one, my total At the Texas one, my total was 136. This meet, I did 142.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I did 64 for my snatch. I tried 67. My overall best in snatch is 66. And then my clean and jerk, I hit 79. And I went for 82, which my best is 80.
Oh, okay.
So I feel like it was amazing because not a lot of people PR at these things. So I felt like I did PR because I did more than the last competition and I hit higher numbers that I'm not as comfortable with.
Yeah.
It was really good. Technique that way is just programming. When you're at the gym, you're always trying to perfect it. When you go to the meets, it's like as long as you lock out and you do not press it out and you don't have soft elbows and you stand it up, you get the lift technically. So the judges aren't like, oh, her butt went up, oh, her toes were up, oh, she didn't do that. Did her elbows lock out for that snatch? And it's right when you hit it up. Like you cannot press anything out like CrossFit does. And that's the same with the jerk. You have to brace and hit that jerk. You can't like do a couple dips and then hit a jerk. That's going to be a no lift. So you have to be locked out technically for everything.
Man.
And that's the whole thing that people just can't get over. But yeah, that's to me the only thing that technically you need to worry about when you're lifting out there. Now, programming helps you to critique yourself and to fix everything. So then you should be able to lift it and go out there and still use that technique that you learned through programming and through your coach. So it is. Sometimes I would just tell the girls, like on that day, I was like, remember, you just punch that bar, lock out. No matter how you get up and you do it. Don't worry about like, oh, well, it didn't get into my hips. Did they count it as a lift? Yes. Take the win.
Yep.
Take it. If you want to get in your hips, then of course you do. Yeah. Like you want to do that, but then that's what you're going to work on next. Like, of course you want it to look like a beautiful, perfect lift. But if these judges said it's a lift, give yourself that, like, I did it. You know?
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's very much like you got to give yourself some grace during these, but at programming, that's when you put in the hardest work because you are perfecting it. You're wanting to perfect it. So then if you accidentally bobble while getting up on your clean, you're going to hit that jerk because you have everything, you know?
Right. Talking about aiming for perfection, let's talk a little bit about like nutrition, because I felt like that was a huge part of, you know, in general weightlifting, but also a huge part of your journey into preparing for that for you and the rest of the girls. So how was this different to your first one? Was your weight class like less than the previous year, or how was it different?
So I've been in the same weight class for all three of them. I've been in the 69, and I feel like with each competition, and this is even the at-home one, it's gotten better and better because there's things that you go through a bulking season where you can eat higher calories, but that's also not me like going, okay, I mean, when I come to Joyce's, I eat like 5 chocolates, but that's not me bulking on chocolates. It's picking those foods that are going to keep me full, keep me energized to lift, because I'm trying to get heavier with lifting. And then you slowly start to get into deficits. Now, I could not do this on my own. Like Amanda Simmons, like knows me to a T. And even with this one, I did it all with just food. My last one, I had a small water cut. And then my first one was, I think, a little bit of a water cut as well. Now, there's some people who have to do really big water cups. There's some people who have to spit in a cup and get everything out. There's times my Texas meet, like I heard people talk about Pedialyte because they couldn't drink they couldn't drink water because they were on a water cut. Oh, wow. And I just saw this girl chug Pedialyte after, and I'm like, oh, you know, it's
interesting.
you want to fit into the weight class that you're supposed to be at, that you're going to be successful in or competitive in. You could pick either one. I want to be successful in my lifts, or do I want to be, competitive? I want to be both. It's just hard to pick which one, in the way that they do weight classes, especially this next one that's supposed to come up. Like Rachel's 63, they're taking that away, and now it's going to be 61. So like my weight class is 69, and then the one below me is 61.
Damn, that's pretty significant. Yeah.
Just like the one above me is 77.
Yeah. That's wild.
Yeah. So seeing the differences, because I didn't have to do a water cut, I didn't have to do a significant deficit, it was even better. And it made me look at food a lot differently. It wasn't like, I don't get that much food. It was more of like, okay, these are my routine things in a deficit. And I'm okay with these meals in a deficit, and they make me full, and they make me this. And I hydrate myself very well. All right. I have my 73-ounce hydro jug that I usually drink 2, maybe 3 if it's really warm out. And I fill that with creatine or electrolytes. Like, that's what I do for hydration. But food-wise, it was like, what meals do I love to eat? What do I need to add to it? What snacks? What can I cut that is not going to be a big cut? Compared to, like, I can eat candy during lifting. Candy is amazing. When you are tired and you just pop some sugary candy, some Sour Patch Kids or whatnot, you can lift. But I couldn't do that, because then I would only get like 12 or 6 of those little things for like 2 hours of lifting. Jeez. So then it was like strawberries, grapes, apples, which would do the same thing. It's just, right? I'd rather have the candy. Yeah. So it was more of looking at those and always checking in with Amanda and being like, hey, this is causing me issues. Do you have any other things that I should try? Or there was a couple where I'd be like, another boring week of me just eating the same food, walking 14,000 steps, doing this. And she's like, right now, that's the best for Blake, is these boring weeks, because it just became so like, I didn't have to think about making these meals. I made them, I measured them, I ate them, I liked them. I didn't get sick of them. So it does help. Nutrition is like the other half. It's putting the time in at the gym and then eating.
That's the hardest part. That's my kryptonite.
It is. And it's still like tons of people are like, oh, you can have it. I'm like, no, I can't. Like, I had to explain it on my mom
so much
and my
discipline.
uncle's last trip before Utah. And they're like, boo-hoo, you couldn't fit in. I go, we drive 8 hours to Utah and Blake doesn't get to lift because I gave in, would you guys be happy? Because I know I wouldn't. And you'd be with somebody for 4 days not happy.
That's so true.
And I'm like, I'm not asking a lot. And when I put it in perspective that way, they're like, oh, okay. It's not like you're just being a brat about food. It's, you don't get to lift.
It relies on this. Like, everything relies on that. Oh, gosh. That's the hard part. And
when they would see my meals, it'd be like, oh, so you are eating. And I'm like, yeah, I'm eating.
Just the right stuff.
Yeah.
The stuff I need.
So it's also like getting your family into perspective for things, because then they could be like, this is a little toxic, right? To me, it would be toxic if every time I had to do a huge water cut, because I wasn't paying attention to my food. And I was just eating whatever and thinking it's going to work out if I do a water cut, or if I just go into like a huge deficit.
It's definitely, I feel like, a cultural thing for us. Like, food is just a gateway to...
families always, and they're always worried, about if you're eating enough, but we'll be the first people to say, ooh, did you gain some weight?
Yep, that's so true.
And it's like, but you just told me that I wasn't eating enough, but you also want me to have chocolate cake with you.
Facts.
Which is it?
Facts.
Yeah, that's like our whole thing growing up and even now. And it's just hard to not be like, hey, I really do love you guys, but I'm going to bring my food. And I've done that with you. I've done it with a couple people during this journey. And it's nice to be around people who, accept that and don't look at it as toxic, because I'm going for a goal.
Fair.
But if I didn't have Amanda with nutrition, I wouldn't be succeeding. Just like if I didn't have Chris for programming, I wouldn't be succeeding. I am like the key point because, right, I have to make my food. I have to make those lifts. But without guidance or a support system like you, my husband, my mom, like without you guys also saying I can do these things when I'm down, sometimes you can hit a failure block.
Yeah.
And be like, why am I doing this if you don't have people helping you in the correct way?
Right.
So yeah, nutrition was really big, but I loved all my meals.
I just remember forgetting all the time, being like, Blake, you want a bite? You want some? And you're just like, no, I cannot have that.
Yeah,
and
she brought
like,
cookies.
Dude, what was the first thing you wanted after that, though? After your meat?
I think I told you like a couple weeks ago, I wanted Chinese food and ice cream. And I got Chinese food and I got ice cream.
And was it as delicious as you thought it would be? Oh my gosh,
the Chinese place that we went to was amazing because they made homemade egg foo young, and I haven't had egg foo young.
You did say you've been wanting some of that.
I hadn't had that, and my mom and my uncle remembered.
Aww.
And so, like, they looked up a spot.
Taurus.
Yeah, they looked up both of them.
I know, that's what I'm saying. So they knew better.
Mm-hmm. They looked up the spot, and then I looked up the ice cream place that I wanted, and it was so nice. Like, it was also a nice family vacation. I know my husband wasn't there, but I felt like my cup was full. Yeah. Aww. So it was really good. And I got the food that I wanted.
And she medaled.
Yeah.
It was just it must have felt amazing.
It was like going out there. Every time I lifted, I could hear everybody, and I almost cried on every lift because I heard my kids, I heard my mom, I heard the girls, like I heard everybody. And just to hear that, and then like with you, with like the pictures of knowing that people are watching live feed. And I got so many text messages that morning from people at the gym, and
that's awesome.
It was nice to feel that. And for me to relax enough to be like, this is pretty cool. This is really fun. And I have so much support, which as an adult, like I was telling my mom and I was telling CJ's mom, because both of them asked so many questions. And I know CJ's mom was like, I don't know if she's going to get tired of me asking questions. I was like, my mom said the same thing to me. But I was like, you know, when you become an adult kid, you don't have that many interests. So when your parent shows up for you and is asking the questions, it makes us feel like we're doing something again. And I feel like as adults and as we get older, we don't have too many things to make us proud of ourselves. We have our kids, right? But if our kids mess up, no. But we have things. We have friendships. We have working out. But we don't have hobbies that make us proud of ourselves sometimes. And like you going to a competition and quarterfinals, like those are things that are goals that we need. And I'm not saying like you have to do workout, like should to get your body moving because we're not getting any younger. But if you like do puzzles and you go to those puzzle competitions, if you crochet and you want to crochet a blanket because you never did it, like you need to have these goals that excite you and make you feel productive.
I amen to that, girl.
Yeah.
Well, now that you've tasted the top of the podium, like what's next? I know we've talked about it, but our listeners probably don't know what's coming up for you, but give us a little bit of a glimpse of what's next for Blake Waka.
I qualified for finals. That's happening in December. So I have to look at my calendar and see what else I have. There's also a competition that I want to do with you.
That's right.
You know, and I still want that piece. I want that piece of CrossFit or that piece of something. I love weightlifting and I love the competition aspect of it. But in my programming, I'm sometimes missing that class aspect that I need and that Blake is still longing for. Now I know when you do programming and you do weightlifting, the more you do something, the better you're going to be at it. I totally get that. And so I have to look at, well, if I do that, if I go to finals, if I don't hit something, is it going to be because of that? I can look at it that way, or I can look at, you know, I just need a break on this day and this is what I want to do. You know, because ultimately I'm doing these things for me and to make me happy.
Exactly.
And I have to remember that I'm not trying to make everybody in this room happy. I'm trying to fulfill and make myself happy. Do I know consistency is the key, and being consistent in weightlifting helps you? Yes. Just like consistency in nutrition, consistency with other things. Yes. But I'm trying to also be happy with things that I want to do. There could be some changes. I mean, there's going to be changes on Saturday, no matter what, a day that I get to be in class. No matter. Yeah.
Well, I hope that's the case, because I would love to have you back.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be a lot of fun.
I love the 3 weeks. Like, everybody's like, oh, you're coming back to CrossFit for a couple of days. I was like, I get 3 weeks. We do have recovery programming. The last couple times that we've taken recovery, I go to class.
Yeah.
Because I like it. I did a workout today, and it was a hard workout, but I enjoyed it.
Did you feel good after? You were all here jumping and prancing around all sprightly.
Yeah, so it's It is. It's a completely different hard since I haven't done it in a while.
Yeah.
Right? The open was there, but I only did one workout every Friday.
Right.
So I've done 2 workouts back to back, and it's been nice. Saturday is going to test me.
Well, tell us both, man. It's all that running.
It's a completely different hard, because now, like, weightlifting that I know most of the movements for program, or most of the movements to help me with weightlifting, I go into those days like, okay, these percentages are high, but I know what to do, and I'm going to do it. And if I don't, then I message Chris, or I send him videos, and it's a very laid back. I get to rest a lot. If I'm having a rough day, I can sit, wallow, or I can, having a good day, listening to music, vibing with everybody. It's a completely different atmosphere than doing class.
True.
But it's also like these 2 workouts that I've done by myself. So I haven't been in class, but I'm excited to do that for these 3 weeks and then see what's next. I've also told myself, like, I don't mind doing a big competition and a small competition, because I do have to look at money wise and what I want to invest in. And if I have to bring the family, I had to bring the dog to this last one. So, which was actually not too bad. Yeah. It was nice to come back to the Airbnb and he was there.
Aw.
So it was nice. It was relaxing.
But you're right. It adds up.
Everything
it gets expensive.
adds up. And no matter what, I'm going to have to stay at an Airbnb due to if I'm cooking my own food, because I have to be in a weight class.
True. Speaking of dog sitting, you might need a dog sit mine while I'm in the competition.
No problem.
Oh, guys. Yeesh.
Not a problem at all.
Yeesh.
We'll have fun.
I know. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. And like you said, hopefully this kind of encourages you to continue moving up, girl. You're only going on up from all of this.
And I think that's what is keeping me is the competition. Mm-hmm. Like, the programming is good programming. And the group that we have is a really nice group. We all don't work out at the same time.
True, yeah.
But when we do, it is nice. And so that aspect is nice. Mm-hmm. But the competitions is what, like,
pumps you up.
Oh my gosh. I just remember sitting there and just smiling and being happy and being like, this is why I like it. Mm-hmm. This is why I like it. I like it because I'm doing it.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So
more competition.
Yeah. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I can do finals or I'll have a competition next
Hey girl,
season.
you got options.
You never know. That's
the best thing, is to have options.
Yep.
So we shall be long awaiting. But no, I think we're all very proud of you, and I love to see how you came home and everyone was just so excited and pumped for you, and it's just beautiful to see you, I guess, all of your hard work come to fruition, and kind of seeing all the results of all of that. Because girl, you were hustling, you were working hard.
I know,
very, very hard.
Everybody in that group was working hard. I mean, just like you're putting in work too. And it's nice to see, like, when you were doing the videos for NCC and everything, and then your quarterfinals, like, it's so awesome. And I love that we have that for each other, and see that, like, we're both succeeding in different things and are happy for each other.
It's true.
And not like, man, I can't believe she can, like, the other day when Justin was like, oh, you smoked that one workout, I was like, double under workout. Yeah. I was like, if there's anything that I'm going to
sit-ups, I was like, psh.
Anything I'm going to bet on Joycey is a double under work.
Yep. And those pull-ups too, because I'm starting to sink more at a time, and I'm just like, oh my God, I'm hanging on to them. So yeah, it's little things.
Seeing your growth is amazing.
Ditto, girl.
Yeah.
Ditto.
I know my mom was like, I've been showing everybody your videos.
Yeah.
And she's just so happy again. Like,
And your little picture in
that's
Podium.
my kid. Yep.
It's so cute.
Oh my gosh, when I Podium and she's like, do the rocker sign. And I was like, really, Mom?
I would have done both like.
Well, then she got me with the double chin. And I
did
looked
see
at
that
the
one.
videos and I was like, Mom.
But I think that's cute. That's when I was like, oh, look at her face. She's so happy.
Yeah, but it was
And
like,
Harper does that too, I noticed.
Yeah.
So I'm like, it's a mom thing.
but there was like 40 people staring at me when my mom's like, do this. And I was
She
like,
said it
Mom.
out loud?
Yes. I was like, Mom,
She's a proud mama.
I'm 37.
I'd be like,
She was so
she's your
freaking
pump-up girl,
proud,
though, which
yeah.
I love. Because you need one of those there.
Yeah, I was just like, when I went there on my break in between the clean and jerk and snatch, because I tried for the 67 and I dropped it. And she goes, did me yelling for you make you drop that weight? And I was like, no, Mom.
I would have been like, yes.
I was like, I was trying to do like a PR and it would have been
Right.
amazing if I did it. And I should have just tried harder in this part, but I'm just happy that I went for it.
You
and
did.
it did get as high as it did. So she's like, okay. And I was like, no, because she was really good. I even told her like, hey, if you're sitting in my eyesight, I might have you move. And she's like, why? You don't want to see me? And I was like, no, I was like, Mom, you know, my focus is already bad. I just don't want us to clock eyes and then I unfocus because I'm going to be like, that's my mom. And so she's like, okay. So she picked a spot that was below my eyesight and she's like, is that good? I was like, that was perfect.
You're like, more to the left.
Yep. So, because there's those things too. Like, if you see somebody in your eyesight, you kind of have to go out there. But, like, when you go out there, they introduce you one by one in the group. And then you have, like, where you can, like, mock you're going to lift. So you can see where the lights hit you because the lights hit you.
Pretty hard.
And if you're not used to that, it's hard. When I did competitions, because it will be like the lights will shine and you don't know where to focus. So I told a couple of the other girls, I was like, you can go on the platform and act like you're going to lift and see what works, or you can stand there and see what you want to stare at. I like to go into my first position. So then I know, okay, once I grab the bar, this is what I'm going to stare at. But if you're not used to the lights, and with dancing, with being on stages, with cheer, with gymnastics and things like that, like the lights were always glaring.
Yeah.
So I love that.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So it just always puts me back into that. Like, this is your performance. You can only mess up your performance.
Facts.
So you
Well,
know
you did it,
everything.
girl.
Yeah. It's exciting.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I do have goals of like, okay, I really do want to hit 82 for my clean and jerk, and I do want to hit that 67.
There you go.
But in the end, like, if I'm at 67, I might as well shoot for 70 for a snatch.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
So like a really good end goal would be like 85 for clean and jerk, 70 for snatch.
Jesus Christ.
But I really, like, I've been trying to get 82, and it's just,
That's wild.
I'm backing out of it and I'm not moving my feet. Same with my snatch. So there's issues.
You just got to recognize how much weight that is, because when I put it together, I'm like, that's ridiculous weight.
I know, my mom's like,
Ridiculous.
you lift that? I was like, people lift way heavier than that,
But
Mom.
we ain't talking about that. We're
I
talking
know.
about you.
She's like, yeah, but even,
I don't know those people.
she's like, everybody I talked to at the district office was like, she lifts heavier than me. Like her,
Like body weight?
yeah, her guy boss was like, what? She can outlift me? And I was like, well, technically,
So
but I'm not
cool.
lifting anybody.
I would want to try that. Pre-workout,
Okay, if
right?
this episode was your swig of pre-workout, then please subscribe, follow, hit those 5 stars, hit those follow buttons, hit that follow button so you don't miss an episode. You'll get a notification when one of these awesome episodes drop.
That's right.
If you have an episode that you want us to deep dive in, we will get in. No, that doesn't sound right. We will get into it. Deep dive into. Please let us know. You can email us at savagely-scaled, 1 at gmail, or DM us at savagely-scaled. Also, if you're an affiliate or you go to the best affiliate, please reach out to us also. We'd love to come visit. We take a tour, we do a class, and then we talk to a couple of the members and we sit down with the owners to see what you're doing in the gym for your community and outside of the gym for your community, and what the community thinks of you. But on that note, don't be a Karen.
Be a Sharon.
And keep sharing. Let us know your experiences with competitions and what you like about them. Tag us in the next competition you're going to. And until
we meet
at the whiteboard again. Bye.
Bye.